Dylan Dresdow. I'm a professional sound engineer, primarily known as a mix engineer. I also do tracking, overdubbing, mastering, Atmos mixing, and a bunch of other stuff that whatever gets thrown at me these days. The two main rooms that I work out of are this room, Studio A, at a facility called The Future, which is owned by Will.i.am. The second room that I work out of most often is a home studio that I moved my old facility, Pay-Per-View Studios, over to, and we're just finishing up construction on that to get it ready for immersive. So this facility used to originally be a Technicolor facility, and then this room was completely redesigned by Vincent van Hoff. George Augsburger designed the mains in here, which I love. So yeah, it's a pretty good room to work out of. My home studio has just been completely done by me, and a lot of trial and error has gone into that because of that. But my home studio really did benefit from the Trinnov system. There's been different types of room correction forever. There's been analog versions of it, there's been digital versions of it, there's been digitally controlled analog versions of that. I tried many of those systems. And I think that's where my skepticism was birthed of all of this stuff, was that I saw it not working properly. I would take multiple tests exactly the same and get different results every time. How is that possible? And I think Trinnov was the first company to really make a believer out of me, to the point where we have Trinnov here at this facility, I have Trinnov at my home studio, I even have Trinnov for my consumer electronics at home for my home stereo system. The great thing about the calibration is it's just extremely simple and it's extremely quick. If I ever have a client that walks in and wants something different out of a room, no problem, because I can do another test, we can do other adjustments, I can save it as a preset, we can always get back. I never feel like I'm painted in the corner, and we always have great results every time. It's just so foolproof. And again, there's been consistency. If I've done multiple tests, it's been the same every time. This is also great for, like, if I do want to take it portably, if I do want to take the system with me into a different room or patch it in from a different room, then we always have the ability to do that and apply it someplace else. So originally, we got Trinnov not to address issues in this room. We wanted to address them in a different room where there were a bunch of hard surfaces and reflection all over the place. And we did some things to try to address that, where we put down some rugs and things like that. We tried putting up gobos, a bunch of other things, and we really were not getting close enough to the finish line. And as soon as we installed the Trinnov system, it was like, just felt like a new space. It was almost dizzying because we were so used to hearing it the other way. And it felt like we're in a new environment. And that was something that was really eye-opening to me, of like how powerful the system actually was. Whenever we did our first analysis of the room, is we let Trinnov do its thing, and it was actually too much. Things can sound too flat, they can sound too sterile. I don't even know how to explain it and put it into words, but we noticed whenever we dialed everything back a little bit, that's whenever things started to really come into play, and we're like, now we've got all the benefits of what we've got, and it doesn't sound like we just put ourselves in a cubicle or some weird space that doesn't sound like a recording studio. And we noticed that we reduced the amount of mix time significantly. We spent a lot less time on those mixes, which also meant we didn't overmix, we didn't overdo things. So beyond the overmixing, say we cut a couple of hours there, we also cut an additional couple, I would say 4 hours a day we probably saved. It allowed us to turn in things a lot quicker. It allowed us to adjust for things. A lot of times we would send things off and have to get an approval from somebody. They would come back and give us an entirely new part. We work very crazy hours over here. It's just part of our business. And anywhere we can kind of increase efficiency is helpful. So, the system has paid itself back, many, many times over because of that. Yeah, it's just been one of the better investments we've made in pro audio, and we have a lot of that here. There's several budgets you have to think about whenever you're purchasing a system like this. You look at the cost of the Trinnov system, and then you look at what it's taking care of. Construction costs, the downtime costs that you have of actually stopping what you're doing, making the construction happen. You have to do the actual design of the room, the cost of that. You have to take care of matrixing to some degree. There's all these different things that Trinnov does. In addition to that, if I do want to make changes, it doesn't force me in a corner where if I redo construction, that's it. If I want to change that, I'm tearing down a wall. How much more is that going to cost me in the long run? So it's a serious purchase that people need to consider for themselves, but they have to listen to it first to actually hear what if it's going to be beneficial to them or not. But I do think that it will be beneficial to them because it's proven itself several times over in several different environments for me.